After you've been disregarded and abandoned by your twin soul, the person who completely idolised you and put you up on a pedestal that you were dating for quite some time, you start to turn into a detective and find out what the hell is going on with this person. You were dating for many months and you got on exceptionally well. You believed they absolutely adored you. You've fallen madly, deeply, head over heels. Now, over past videos, I've given you strategies on how to cope after the abandonment. I've given you the traits and the cycle of the typical romantic NPD condition. If you like my videos, press the like button and please subscribe. Now we're going to talk about why none of this is actually your fault. Okay, none of this is about you, and I know you're not going to believe me. You're grieving and you're mourning and your self-esteem is rock bottom. Now a lot of people say to me, why is there not deep bitterness and angerness? How I talk about the romantic NPD person, and it is because I know they can't help what they do. A lot of what they do is planned, and a lot of what they do, they know what they're doing. But the general program is run from a deep, deep subconscious place that was set from childhood. Okay, now most people are consistent with their values and their opinions and how they behave. It's generally in line with what they say, but with the romantic NPD condition, due to the mirroring, they'll change to suit the person that they're trying to impress or trying to mirror. Remember I told you about how they live in it's an absolute perpetual state of paranoia. They have to be perceived to be liked. Hence why this is why you love bombed, why they mirrored you, and why they tried so hard to make you like them, which you did. You fell madly, deeply, hook, line and sinker in love with this person. Because of this condition, I promise you, you'll find just the way you are. Maybe we could do a bit of work on more self-love on your part, and obviously recovery, and obviously working on a positive mental attitude won't get you far wrong, but trust me, you'll find on the whole just as you are. Never about you. Now, can you help this person? Okay, I'm going to give you an analogy so you understand how deep-rooted this condition is. I got this from a very respected psychologist. So here we go. Imagine you're in a room full of 5 people and you're all kind, caring, empathic people. But the rest of the world outside has turned aggressive, angry and mean. Now you have to venture out into this world. How far are you going to get with being empathic, gentle and kind? You will very quickly find that you will adapt so that you can survive. Your real personality will sometimes come forward and people will say to you, change, be more aggressive and angry and horrible. You can try and you'll keep trying, but it's difficult. It's very difficult for you to change the core of the person that you are. Now, if you switch that around, so for the NPD person, it's the opposite. People try to get them to change and try to beg them to be a better person, try to feel empathy for their feelings. They simply can't do it. It's like an elastic band always pinging back to the same shape. Their perception is that everyone else has got it wrong and they've got it right. They're not very good at trusting people. Their perception of you is that you are going to dislike them if they show their true mask, their true self. Some of them are very quirky, and getting to know the real person is challenging. They have an immense lack of awareness of what they're like and how badly they break people's heart because they can't feel empathy and they don't have the feelings that other people have. How can they be expected to understand? I'm not sticking up for them by any means, I'm really not. But you have to understand that it's the way they are. It's actually been proven in studies where x-rays of the brain were taken, and these people generally can't feel feelings. They can't feel empathy, or not in the way that normal people can. Now, they can walk the walk, talk the talk and fake it, and they're very good at it. We know they're very good actors, but generally they don't feel. They don't feel. That's why they do not understand how you are feeling. This is how they can skip off without looking back. There is a definite deficit and an impaired part of the brain, hence why they can't feel empathy. There is a lack of awareness, menocognition. They haven't got the logic or the thinking to understand how their actions are causing the other person such anguish and pain. Now, we talked about as well why the NPD condition doesn't seem able to have that inner talking, to do some self-reflection. They have bouts of depression. It seems apparent that the chronic NPD condition, the people are addicts as well. They often take drugs to gain euphoria, and it's thought to gain some sort of sense of feeling. So you can imagine if this person is feeling anxious and depressed and is taking all these mind-altering drugs, there's going to be quite a lot of distraction. So they won't be willing to, or have the energy to, look into themselves and have that self-talk and that self-analysis to see that possibly it's them and it's not everybody talking at them with the same idea that they are cold and heartless. So there's no way of them understanding how they're actually perceived to another person. There's no insight at all. They're not able, they're not willing. They don't care much for relationships, especially in the romantic side of things. The person is only there to serve them for a while, or when they decide to keep this person, take them off the shelf from the harem. The person is just basically quite often used and abused. So yeah, just remember, you'll find just the way you are.